What's going on, guys? Chinese guy here. So since the launch of Battlefield Hardline about 3 days ago, and now yesterday Hardline was released for players in the UK, I actually find it quite strange how little the amount of people in my friends list actually has the game. Keep in mind, I do have about 90 friends on my Origin account and my battle log, so I would say that's quite a lot compared to maybe your average Battlefield player, which might have something similar to 30 to 40 friends. So it's strange for me when it came 12 o'clock midnight on the 17th, or yesterday even, when the game was actually made available to people. I was surprised to see only one or two of my friends was actually online and ready to hop into a server. Whereas when Battlefield 4 or one of its DLCs launched, I saw at least 5 or 6 of my friends online and excited to hop into a server. And just throughout the whole day, I only really saw an average of 1 or 2 of my friends playing the game, where the majority of my other friends actually kept to Battlefield 4. And this made me think about how many people actually pre-ordered or bought Battlefield Hardline on day 1. So down in the comments below, I would love for you to leave a comment telling me, do you already have Hardline, or are you planning to wait until the price drops a few months down the road? But basically in this video, I'm here to talk about some problems that I'm starting to see with this game, such as balancing issues or your typical glitches and bugs, and hopefully help you guys make the decision of if you want to pick this game up or not. And first things first, if you're wondering, don't worry, Battlefield Hardline's launch was, in my opinion, quite smooth even compared to other AAA titles. These servers were up and running almost perfectly. I didn't have any problems logging in or hopping into a game, but that's just my experience, and hopefully everyone else's was just as smooth as mine. But what I'm talking about are the problems and bugs which we have seen before in Battlefield 4 and are now returning in Hardline. I really don't think these problems should be reoccurring because the games are very similar in a way and they run on the same game engine. One major issue which really has affected my gameplay is the reload bug. What basically happens is when you press the reload button to change out your magazine for a fresh new clip, the game shows the animation of your character reloading, but then if you double check your bullet counter on the bottom right hand corner, your gun actually has not been reloaded. I mean, this bug has been stuck with the Frostbite engine as far as I remember as since Battlefield 3. Again, it's nothing game breaking and it shouldn't be too hard to fix. DICE has done it before, so they can probably lend Visceral a hand. But it is little things like this that makes this game not as enjoyable as it should be. Reloading in a first person shooter game is probably something you do not want to screw up, and because of this bug, I have died multiple times from running into a room of enemies thinking my gun was locked and loaded, but in reality I only had 5 more rounds. Next, there are some sound bugs. Gameplay volume sometimes doesn't go back up to normal after you get revived. Alarm sounds continue to go off even after something blows up or the explosives gets disarmed, and even sometimes the in-game menu sounds will transfer into your gameplay. But again, nothing too bad. Everything is relatively pretty smooth, nothing a little patch cannot fix. Overall, I would say the game is pretty stable, at least for the PC, and with the time that I spent with Hardline, which is about 10 hours, I actually have not even crashed yet, so hopefully Hardline will have a much better record than Battlefield 4. Now, with all this said, you might be wondering, is Battlefield Hardline actually worth my hard-earned money of $60 if you're in the US? My answer to that question is, ask yourself these 3 questions. Do you have Battlefield 4? Are you planning to get the new Battlefront, which will be released at the end of this year? And are you also a fan of close quarters gun battles, which Battlefield Hardline has tons of? In my opinion, if you have Battlefield 4 and you are looking forward to the new Battlefront, then I would say save your money and spend your $60 there. But if you don't have Battlefield 4 and you really enjoy close quarters combat, then I'd say you should buy Battlefield Hardline, but maybe not at full price because in my opinion $60 is a bit too much to charge for this game. If you do have the patience, then maybe wait for the price to drop in a few months or so. If you can get a deal on Battlefield Hardline for about $40, then I would say go for it. But what I'm trying to say is paying full price of this game is probably not worth it if you're looking to buy Battlefront, which in my opinion, will probably be a much better game, and you'll probably spend much more hours on it. And speaking of that, if you are planning to spend tons and tons of hours in this game, then of course it's worth it. But if you're maybe someone that's really casual and just wants to hop into a server and play for a bit and maybe spend 200 hours maximum in this game, then maybe paying full price for this game is probably not the best decision. If you're asking me, do I think this game is fun? I would say definitely. The maps are really designed nicely and the aesthetics of them are awesome, but somehow I feel like the graphics of this game has actually lowered from Battlefield 4, which is kind of disappointing. At times I do see some lower quality textures in the background of the game, even on my gaming PC, which Battlefield 4 didn't really have, so I'm kind of disappointed in that, but maybe it's just me playing PC games too much, and maybe for console owners you guys won't really notice a thing. It's also important to keep in mind that if you're planning to buy Battlefield Hardline, are you also planning to buy Premium, which is an extra $50, almost for an extra game actually. So if you're in it for the long run, then maybe you can wait and buy the Premium edition of this game, which will probably come around in a year or so after the last DLC releases. If you can wait another year, then yeah, go for it. But for now, I would recommend to buy the base game and not buy Premium until they show some gameplay and actually give us more information, because you shouldn't be giving them money for something you don't know what you're buying. To sum it up, in my opinion, Hardline is a great game. It would have been even better if it was DLC and it costed around $30 for a little upgrade. Maybe take away a few things, a few maps, and just overall dumb it down a little bit and charge us a little bit less. I think they would probably maximize their sales through that way than rather make it another game, which I have noticed not a lot of people actually bought. Hopefully they can release some official sales numbers, then we can talk. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video of me talking a little bit about Battlefield Hardline and giving out some of my own personal opinion. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. I would love to get a conversation going on down with you guys, as interacting with my community is the reason why I love doing this. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give me a rating. Peace out guys.